I saw a comment on one of the threads the other day. I can't remember the name of the person who put it on, and I can't find the comment anymore. So I apologise for not remembering your name specifically, but this video was aimed at something you had said about looking to play through some changes. Now I'm not sure what level you're at, so I'm going to aim this very, very simply. So I apologise if you're completely familiar with this stuff just now, but we can get a bit more complex on it in the coming days, coming weeks. So we've looked briefly at chord shapes and putting some scales around those chord shapes. So if I take the chord A minor, let's just change this wee guy here. So there's an A minor chord there at the 5th fret. And I spoke about how we can see this root note here and build a chord to the right of that, or build a chord to the left of that, which is this shape here. And then around those chord shapes, I can stick, visually, I can stick scale shapes around them. So if we just keep with the pentatonic scale just now, around this shape here, 3 5 3 5 2 5 2 5 3 5 3 5. Whenever I see that chord shape off of any root note, that's the scale shape that I put around that. This one here, that's just good old fashioned position 1. For the D string, I see this shape here, B minor 7 chord, or just a regular minor chord. I put this shape here, 8, 10, 7, 10, 7, 10, 7, 9, 8, 10, 8, 10. That goes round that wee guy there. The root note on the A string, I treat this the same as the E string. I can see a chord built to the left of this note, which is this shape here, B minor 7 chord. And the shape I use there is 10, 12, 10, 12, 10, 12, 9, 12, 10, 13, 10, 12. That goes around there, and then the chord built to the right off of this root note is the other kind of pentatonic scale everyone knows. 12, 15, 12, 15, 12, 14, 12, 14, 13, 15, 12, 15. And then I'm back to this wee guy up here. Just this one an octave higher. So I'm not necessarily thinking a particular system, a caged system, although it is directly that, but I'm not thinking in the terms of a system. So when I hear a chord A minor, these are all as valid as each other, and I can add other wee notes to those chords. So I can take the 3rd finger off here and make a 9, a minor 9 chord, minor. That 7th at the top there, minor 11, that's a minor 11 chord there, minor 9 up here. Can move this finger back a wee touch, back a fret, and then make it a minor 9 chord. Add the 7th in the top. So when I'm playing, soloing through scales, I've got these chord shapes that I'm using just to kind of block off bits of the fretboard, and that helps kind of navigate. So I can see when I'm moving from when I'm straying from one chord shape, I'm moving into another chord box box here, and another one here, and that one there, back into this one here. But a good practice for that is just to get connecting. That's just obviously one chord. Sticking on a backing track with a one chord groove for 15 minutes will help really kind of solidify the visualization of those chord boxes and help you connect those scale shapes together. Then the next step after that would be to find something that has two unrelated chords. So I've just found a wee backing track here that has just the chords A minor to C minor. I would play through the chord progression as chords, but trying to find the nearest next chord to the chord I'm already on. So I'll just try and give you an example of that just now. So there's A minor. Now the next C minor is this one. A minor, I'm going to go here. Next C minor, I'm going to go here. A minor, here. Minor 9. C minor here. C minor 9. A minor here. Then I would start trying to... So that's me just playing through the chords to the nearest A minor to C minor and the nearest position. Then just to really make sure that you kind of know this, I'm staying on the one chord there for the full duration, but try and mix up as many different voicings as you can before the chord changes. And when the chord changes, wherever you are on the neck, you need to get to the nearest C minor or A minor from that position. So if I play this again, C minor, A minor, A minor, so I'm just bouncing about the neck, just making sure I can visualise exactly where all the C's are in relation to the A's and where all the A's are in relation to the next stage. Then would be if you're really, really comfortable and confident with those chords and they're under your fingers and you can see exactly where they are on the board, then start sticking the scale shapes around about them. And as the chords change, your scales change. That's it. Back to normal. This one here. targeting the scale shapes with the pentatonic scales. We can make that more in depth with additional notes. We can make them Dorian scales or Aeolian scales or melodic minor scales or anything like that, which I'm happy to get into in the coming weeks. But I thought that is a good starting point to be able to take two unrelated chords, be able to see them, how close they are to each other, and be able to weave the scales in and out of, because you see a lot of this, and then when the chord changes, just shifting the whole position up to position 1 again. But you really want to start seeing how this position here can move to this position. And you're highlighting the changes without moving or having to just change whatever lick you're playing. If you're playing a lick here, keep the lick going and then adapt the scale appropriately to fit the chord that's underneath. Thanks very much, folks. See you soon. Bye.